like a news report. Like,
hey, folks, we are live everywhere. On YouTube, on Facebook, at, well, Giga-Bites Cafe, but on YouTube at Giga-Bites TV. It's all one word, Giga-Bites TV. But today we're talking about a whole bunch of stuff. We're going to start off with some 40K goodness because it's 40K and it's good. Then we're going to talk about dissecting how a game grows because we have a good example of a growing game at Giga-Bites that we think we can replicate for a whole bunch of stuff. And then we're going to talk about some of the events coming up throughout the next week or two. But start off with what just released, which is Chaos Daemons. John, Mark, what's up?
The best named.
Yeah, the best character in 40K, or Age of Sigmar, or any game, really. Sloppity Bile Piper. We just got him in. So he's releasing this Saturday. He is the second Herald that released in this wave, which is pretty awesome. He is the jovial, almost like, so, like, to me, if you ever watch the old Batman series, he's the Joker with, like, the laughing gas.
Yeah.
You know? So he's basically supposed to make you laugh to death, which is pretty awesome.
Yep.
I love it.
So yeah, he came out with this wave, and then secondly, the other big release is going to be the Beast of Nurgle kit. So I know I've been waiting for a new Beast of Nurgle, even though I don't play Nurgle. I'm just sick and tired of seeing like 30 of that one resin model stuck on the board.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you're not gonna have a lot of body options, but they do finally give you options to change the stomach, options to change the head, so not every single one is looking exactly the same.
And you can mix and match them too, which is pretty cool. So like
you can still get a decent amount of diversity out of your models, and hopefully you're not running 30, because then you're really have fun.
You don't know that they could be lots of fun. I think it's a lot of random stuff with them still, which is nice. But yeah, so those guys came out. Those are the two big 40K releases for this week. We also have in a couple of new Age of Sigmar models that could also be used for 40K, depending on your modding skills or, you know, what you just want to say counts as. The first one is the Lord of Blights. So he's a really cool Age of Sigmar general. So Nurgle guy with a giant tower shield and hammer. And he's got like a hangman's post stuck to his back.
The 3 victims. Are they all human, or did he actually get some? Oh yeah, he got all human.
Yeah, well, I mean, Chaos is mostly against humans.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. But yeah, so Lord of Blights comes out, and then with them, it's the Husgoyle Blight Lords, which is something you have to say slowly, or else you're just going to muck it up. So this is a 2-character... You're probably going to hold it up higher. Wow. This is 2 characters in a box. They can be used as a unit, or you can make one a specialty character, which is kind of cool. So these kits are gorgeous. Just like the amount of detail and all that sort of stuff that's in them. And if you guys are interested in playing Age of Sigmar, we do have a community that's growing on Mondays. Me and Mark are going to be here this Monday evening playing Age of Sigmar with Bobby, who is our Age of Sigmar champion.
Yep.
So
if you haven't noticed, there's a little Nurgling trying to imitate Papa on the big one. So he's riding his own little wasp.
Yeah, that's something that they did with the Demons release. There's like a Nurgling count on each box that you got. I think the Greater Unclean one has the most, but it's kind of awesome that they're like putting these little guys everywhere. So.
And they try to imitate classes. Like on the Great Unclean one, you have one that's like a champion. He's got the great sword, at least for his size, a great sword. And you have a little sorcerer version on the Great Unclean one as well. So it's just funny because you have these little Nurglings that are also more of the jovial, kind of just giving gifts to all the mortals.
I think the humor is really important to balancing out how gross Nurgle is.
It's true. It's true.
Like these like little cutesy funny stuff. The overall like pus and bile and like festering wounds might eventually get a little too much for some folks.
I just imagine like the fart world from Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sure that's what the Nurgle's plane is. It's just it's a world of farts
and butts.
Mark, do you want to grab? It looks like we have FedEx stopping off. Thank you.
Ooh, they came early. It's great.
Yeah, well, that's how we got these guys. So we got our first wave. We got the new stuff in, and now it looks like wave 2, which is pretty exciting. But yeah, since Mark's gone, I can kind of talk about a little bit of the demon shakeup with the new codex.
Yes, please.
It's pretty to me, I think it's a great balancing thing that they did. They took away a lot of the stuff that was getting abused in tournaments and things like that. I'm looking at you, Zinch. That's my faction, and it hurts a little bit. But they took away some of the stuff that was getting a little out of hand, like the passive buffs or like stuff that was way too cheap, like Brimstone Horrors. Like, you know, you have a bunch of cheap infantry with...
Dude, way cheap.
You know, yeah. But they were dirt cheap, and they had a decent save on them because they were demons. So now that's changed. Not only did Brimstones, I think, go up in points, but they got their save reduced. So I think it's like a 6+ save at most.
Okay, good.
Where the baseline infantry, like Pink Horrors and Bloodletters and all that, they went down, and they usually saw some increase in utility. So I think it's like a great shift overall to make sure that these demon armies are more in tune to play with how people would think they would be, you know? So I think that's a good show. Like, Games Workshop's paying attention and adjusting things and being pretty proactive about it. So yeah, like the Changeling lost his -1 aura to hit, which is a really that's a big thing because a lot of demon lists were built around that. That's changed, and that will be implemented. So Thousand Suns get a -1 to hit spell in their new codex coming out. So instead of getting this like passive aura of -1 to hit, if you take Thousand Suns, you can still have that, but you have to be able to cast that spell. So
interesting.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. I mean, that's fluffy. That's good.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Oh, cool. We've got some direct orders. And yeah, so it's more fluffy. And the other big thing is all the greater demons, I believe, saw a points reduction. They were a little like bloated in cost and all that when the game first came out. So
Nurgle wants to be bloated.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, no.
We'll be fair. Like the game is a shooty game, you know.
Yeah. The Changeling's still an absolutely valid choice to take. He just does something different now. You're no longer just auto-including him with every Zinch list. You have to be a little bit more... you have to have a little bit more thought on where you put him because he does something different. So
Good to know. How about the Custodes release coming up, huh?
Yeah, so Custodes, Golden Dudes, they go for pre-order this Saturday. We already have an extensive pre-order spreadsheet built up for these guys. And they will be releasing next Saturday. So pre-order tomorrow, get them following Saturday.
And we'll take pre-orders today. So just call us or message us on Facebook. Yeah. Get it done.
Yeah, we should have a couple of pre-order threads on our Facebook pages and all that. But if you pop by or you want to call and make sure that you get your stuff, just do it. These guys look pretty cool. Yeah. If Mark didn't already have like 2 other 40k armies, I would say you pick up Custodes or Custodes.
They would be easy to paint.
Yeah, like... and also, I think they had a battle report yesterday versus Zinch, which is where I'm getting all of my Thousand Suns info, where I believe the Custodes player only brought like 13 models. Mark, you can have
19 models?
Yeah. Was that?
I think 19 models for 2,000 points.
Okay,
still,
yeah.
Well
Less than 20,
yeah.
And they're all very monocolor and easy to paint up. So I'm just saying, you want a fully painted 40k army.
I just like how they were before. It's like, we are the elite fighting force. We will kick your...
Get Reichland Flesh Shade and Retributor Armor spray, and you pretty much got your army.
So yeah, they're to me, it's a good marketing point for a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there who just don't want to paint hundreds of models, and that's understandable.
Oh yeah.
So now with like Custodes Force, I can go to someone and be like, listen, like, you can get 1,000 points for like 10 models and then 2,000 for 19, 20 models. And it's effective. They stood toe-to-toe versus Magnus and the Thousand Suns.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so this goes in the battle report. Thousand Suns only won because they had this relic that lets them teleport a unit. So like it's the guy who has the relic and then I think a unit within a certain distance get to immediately remove the table, go into reserve, and then deep strike.
Ooh.
So like it was like a last minute like objective grab, and that's one of the Custodes' weaknesses is the fact that they can't be everywhere because they only have like 20 models.
I mean, they spent millennia protecting one objective. It seems like they're not going to be good at branching out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at the stat line from the previews, there's some formidable... So the Spearmen, for instance, they have a special tactical objective when you're playing those cards, where if you have no enemies or allies within 3 inches of the Spearmen, you get that tactical objective succeeded. Very interesting stuff like that a typical player like me, I like my Dark Eldar or Chaos Culty kind of horde armies.
Yes.
I'm not into the elite units.
Yeah.
But if you are, dude, it's really, really cool.
So do they suffer from like last cannons just blasting them apart?
They have a lot of like invulnerable saves and things like that, so they have protection against it.
Yeah.
But remember, a last cannon, if it's shooting at a unit of 5 of them, even if the wound goes through, it's only killing 1 dude.
Yeah.
You know, so it's that's one of the benefits. And then I think they also have like a 6-up feel no pain just versus psychic abilities. Like they're just resilient versus psychic abilities.
In the psychic phase.
Correct. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. And then the other big thing is that they actually have a teleporting stratagem. So like one of their stratagems, you can use command points to put guys in reserve and deep strike them in, which was a lot of people who play Custodes were hoping they would get.
Do they get a lot of command points?
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, honestly, it seems like something Elite Fighting Force would have a lot of versatility, which is always showing up in command points.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're automatically getting 3, and then I think running a battalion with them is pretty easy because you need 3 troop choices and 2 HQs. And I don't want to surprise anyone.
But a troop choice is 1 model. I'm just kidding.
No, a troop choice is like 3 minimum, but they don't have a lot of, like, other things to dump their points into.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you have a Venerable Dreadnought, a Land Raider, Rhinos, and then the jet bikes. Those are like your only. Plus your like HQs.
The jet bikes. I forgot.
Yeah, beep beep.
Yeah, no. I love it how it's like Sam. I was like, I got the only one in the entire Imperium, and there's like naturally these were in the garage.
Well, it's fine. No, Dad let them take the car for the spin.
I know. Just couldn't use these. These were Dad's.
So not only that, but I think with the jet bike box, you can make an HQ option out of it, which is kind of cool.
Just like the
So like. If you want to play like a jet bike force of Custodes, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And so you can totally do that. It's pretty exciting.
Yep. So we're looking at you, old fantasy ogre players, if you want to like low model count.
Yeah, no, and so it's totally a selling point because ogres were immensely popular. Not only were they a strong army, but to people who were not so much into like painting 100 rats plus, it was a great option. So. I'm really hoping to see a lot of players move to Custodes, and I'm expecting to be able to entice people who maybe don't play 40K a lot because they don't want to pay all those models to be like, maybe you check out Custodes, you know? Because, like, I can tell you, it's like, I play Tyranids. I like the big stompy bugs. I'm not bringing that many models, but someone else who gets into it might want to start stompy bugs but finds out their playstyles to lots of guys, and then they feel like, I just wanted to bring a couple of models. Now I have like a couple hundred, which always happens, by the way.
I'm going to jump to the comments because we got a whole bunch at once when we started talking about it. So we'll start off with Daniel. One of the options in the Custodes that was on Twitch for the Warhammer TV was a Land Raider, Venerable Land Raider.
Yes.
And then Thomas says, they're the elite of the elite of the elite. Very good point.
Yes.
You literally cannot get more elite than them because they're from the Emperor's gene seed directly, whereas all of the Space Marines are from the Primarch's gene seed, so it's a little bit diluted. And then Chris Lyle says that they have a 4-up invulnerable minimum.
That's pretty awesome.
Jeez.
It's very good. And then he also says 6 or 7 command points maximum, given how expensive they are. Very good point.
Yeah, but I think that's what you're going to need, 6 or 7.
Yep. And then Ross says he intends to ally sisters or more Inquisitors or something with them. So ally them, have them in battalion, kind of round out some of the weaknesses if there are any. That's a good idea.
And like,
it'd be great.
I think the intention is to ally them with someone else to fill any holes in them. I do want to go to what Daniel said, is there was some interesting 1,000 Suns changes, which I saw a couple of them. The first being no more re-rolling 1s for failed saves.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's kind of harsh.
It is. It's a big change.
Wait, so run that by me again?
So there's no longer the aura to re-roll 1s for failed saves.
Whoa.
So it's a big deal for Magnus, who is a 3-up save. Rerolling ones meant that you only really failed on a 2, or rerolling like a 1 or a 2 again.
Having a really good save afterwards.
But they did give us plenty of things to make up for that. The big one being all of the aspiring sorcerers and scarab occult terminators and things like that. They're not limited to just smite anymore.
Oh,
so they kept the Dark Hereticus discipline, but it expanded up to 6 powers. So there's now a -1 to hit, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So it's a buff you have to cast on a unit, which is pretty cool. There's another one that lowers the speed of opponents. So like you can keep armies from charging you, which is, I think, always nice.
Yeah.
And then there's another one. I can't remember what it is, but there's 3 new powers. So Magnus lost a little bit of survivability, but he also gained it because now in a mono Thousand Suns list, you can
make him hard to hit.
Yeah, -1 to hit.
He's already flying, right?
No, he doesn't benefit from that flying.
Right.
Yeah. So he's not like a. So the only things that benefit from that are like jets and things like that.
Okay.
Things that are moving at like supersonic speed. Magnus is kind of like flopping in the air. Like,
I imagine the fat dragon from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah. So their powers got expanded. The Thousand Sun discipline, or the Thousand Sun chapter trait, seems like all of your psychic powers get extended 6 inches, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, especially if you're slowing them down.
Yeah. So they now can wage warfare much longer. They don't have to spam smite, which I think is really important, especially if those beta rules go through, where they make smite more difficult to cast on each successive cast.
Oh.
Yeah. So there's a lot of changes. There's a lot of shakeups. The Skyfires, I think, look personally really cool. We'll wait to see what the point cost is on them. But they have like D3 shots apiece. The Enlightened are in the book. I think those are both elite choices or heavy support. I can't remember what they listed them as. But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of new war gears and relics and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be a big change for any Thousand Suns player. Yeah, which is great. Which is what Games Workshop's gotten really good at doing, is not letting the meta stagnate. So like, at any point what you're playing, you're never going to have to play against like the same list week after week after week. Like things are going to get changed up. Things are going to be different.
Well, we can also go to that word we throw around every single time: negative play experience.
Yeah.
If you have a Magnus that just saves every single thing you shoot at, it gets old very quickly.
Correct. Yeah. -1 to hit, rerolling ones for a failed save of like a 3. Like, that's.
Like, here I go doing no wounds again.
Yeah. So they're getting rid of that. And we'll see what the point changes are. I'm sure they're going to adjust the point costs across the board. I don't know how good it's going to be for some things or bad for others. I heard aspiring sorcerers are going up again. Not aspiring sorcerers, sorry, exalted sorcerers. But I don't know. Oh yeah, and then the Zangor shamans; those are being added in as elite choices, not HQ, which is slightly sad to me. I wish they were HQ.
There's a lot of elites already, though.
Yes, by the same point, I don't think Thousand Suns want any filthy beastmen running their army. So it kind of makes sense. Just slightly sad.
Also, they probably, since there are empty husks in a lot of those.
The Zangors?
The Rubric Marines. They don't want Zangors touching that. That's their special like their duty to take care of those.
Correct. Yeah. I wish there was a detachment that made Zangors like HQs, but long gone are those kind of special buffs from detachments and such. But
Chris Lyle says AdMech still has their gun lines.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Some things change, some things don't. I expect. Other armies like AdMech, I'm sure there'll be a campaign book where they'll get affected or changed in some way. The last thing, Thousand Suns are getting the Mutilith Vortex Beast, where in Age of Sigmar it's all about debuffing.
Do you have yours here?
Yeah, it's in the paint case over there. The Mutilith Vortex Beast is all about debuffing and dealing damage to opponents in a large aura around it. In 40k, it's all about buffing your units. So it's giving... it's radiating a random table of buffs, which I think is pretty awesome. And Mark's bringing over my Mutilith Vortex Beast, which Taylor painted up for me, and it looks pretty awesome.
Whoa!
It's missing this little glowy orb thing.
Yeah.
but this guy's now in 40K, which I've waited for a very long time. So wow. I'm pretty excited to see.
You can see the underarms for hugging.
Yeah, those are made for hugging.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Very well done, Taylor.
Yeah, no, it looks fantastic. So with Custodes and Thousand Suns being back to back, it's pretty exciting. And I want to say the rumors are pointing to the other two Shadespire warbands being released after Thousand Suns. Okay. So we're going to be getting Skaven and Fire Slayers for Shadespire, which is
good.
It doesn't matter. Ironjaws.
Yeah, Ironjaws are the best. I'm still waiting on my either Arcanite or Seraphon warbands for Shadespire. Games Workshop, make it happen.
Yeah. Yes,
Siege.
please.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have y'all heard anything about the next codexes after T-Suns?
What? Like the room?
Next codexes after 1,000 Suns? Any rumors?
They're pointing to Necrons and Tau.
It's fair.
But, yeah, we don't know much about that. And it looks like when Necrons and Tau come out, they're going to be like a book release, no new models associated with it.
Okay.
Which is kind of a bummer for Necrons and Tau.
Like, I think Tau right now need a mix-up.
Yeah. So hopefully their book has a big shake-up for them.
Because I always just see tons of drones surrounding one special model.
Yeah. That like cool little drone mechanic has become like a linchpin of the Tau.
Yeah, with the current meta, I'd say it's almost necessary for a lot.
Yeah. With that, Thomas, right now the rumor mill is pointing towards elves of all varieties being done in April. So that means Age of Sigmar, Drukhari, and Harlequin should be in April. But once again, these are all rumors, unconfirmed. It just seems that that's where the releases are going. Yeah. We've been seeing a lot of dark elf piratey stuff in the rumor mills as of late.
Well, one of the pictures I showed a hand holding a scroll. So
yeah.
I'm hoping that's regular
high
elves.
Yeah, so that might be high elves. So they might be doing like high elves and dark elves back to back. So that would be kind of cool. Like I'm looking forward to like whenever Games Workshop comes out with new models, like for Nurgle Demons or Custodes, it's a big shakeup and it's a good thing for the game because it usually gets people back into the game or new people playing.
Yep. And speaking of people getting back into the game, let's perfect segue over to Dust, because it is one of the games that is growing really, really, really fast, and for good reason.
Yeah, so we could talk about that a lot, actually. So the main thing about Dust being is Jim coming in and championing that game for us. And what he's done is he's made himself accessible. And he's also made getting a demo game in very easy to do. He brings in multiple fully painted lists, has a demo board set up on the table, and he's usually here when you need him to be here. That's not the timing isn't super essential for necessarily getting a game growing, but the fact that he's been available and made himself available and able to get these demo games in, he's an absolute pro at demoing now.
Yes.
So yeah, having that accessibility and having the ability to like show the rules in a quick fashion has been such a good thing for getting the game growing. Because let's say Mark never played a game of Dust before. He's kind of interested in it. He sees, it comes up on a Thursday night. We have 10 people playing. He's like, oh, I'd like to try that out. Ask Jim for a demo. The game gets set up, and they're done with their demo in about 20 to 30 minutes.
Yep.
And that's great. Mark gets to see the fully painted models. He plays on that grid format, which makes it really easy to just pick up the rules.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Like you basically have two modes of play. You have your beer and pretzels. I think I mentioned this before. You have your beer pretzels, and then you have your like full table, like a 40K game.
Yeah.
So really, it's just what you want, and the demo is great for that. You don't need a tape measure. You just need your models, the dice that come with it. Bam.
Yeah. And I think that's a big portion of making it successful is I usually find in demo games that whoever you're demoing it to, they are very much reserved. They don't want to like lose models. They don't want to they don't want to engage first. And that's what usually makes it difficult for the person who is demoing the game to engage the person. And by engage, I mean like get them excited about the game and get them into how the game actually feels like. So Dust with that grid system, there's not a lot you can move on the map to where you're not actively doing something.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's something that's big when you bring it into like miniature games like 40K, War Machine, all that sort of stuff. I've played those games for years, and generally if you demo on a like 4x4 or even larger than that, you have the person who's getting into the game being very reserved and very passive about it.
Yeah.
So you want to do what you can to make sure that whatever they're doing, they're engaged with the game and actively doing something each round.
Yeah, part of that is the system, super easy to teach and learn. It's actually very similar to 40K. The only thing that complicates 40K, I would say, is like knowing that when you charge, you have to end up within an inch of someone, and then you can have another model within an inch of a model that's within an inch of an enemy. There's little things like that kind of throw things off a little bit for new players. That is especially true at Dragon Con when we were there in September. When I was, I would demo someone who's never even seen a tabletop game. They walked by and they were like, "What's this?" And I said, "It's Warhammer 40K. Ever heard of it?" "Nope, never heard of it." "Well, come try it and I'll show you how it plays." They got used to it after a while, but it's that period of learning when your brain is like a little overwhelmed with everything. That it's typically like 20 minutes long before you start really grokking what you're like experiencing. And Dust doesn't have that for very long. It's like 2 minutes. I taught one of my brothers, and he literally was just rolling dice within about 30 seconds. I said, "You can move this guy like 2 spaces in a movement period, 1 diagonal, and then the next diagonal is 2 movement." He's like, "Okay, got it."
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, that's fast.
And so I think that's something that to look at these games. When you're demoing 40K and War Machine, especially when with a new player, I usually will omit rules or simplify rules to make sure that the game functions and rolls forward. And I'll always explain to the person I'm demoing where it's just like, "Hey, listen, like we're going to be playing with the demo rules, right? So like if you want to learn the full rules, like, read the rule book and all that sort of stuff, or we can play more once you get adjusted to it. But usually dumping a whole like miniature games worth of rules on someone right when they're trying to get started is a great way to kill excitement.
Yeah.
Anytime you have to do, you can do this except when, or you can do this but, and then there's 3 exceptions to it, throws it off completely.
Yeah.
When 40K was more complicated with its previous editions, when demos used to be, "Hey, we're playing Space Marines, 4 up, 4 up, 4 up to hit, 4 up to save."
Yeah.
Easy. You just really dumb down the rules for the demos. And then if they got interested, which really is the aesthetics of the game that drive a lot of the interest in it, then they can get into the bigger rules of it.
And talking about that aesthetics, that's a really important thing that I could say that the excitement of the game for Dust has grown with. Yeah. The fact that the demo armies that we've had here and the demos we've done, they're fully painted lists with like fully painted terrain on a grid. So people get into it, they can see the world, they can see like the characters they're playing with in full thing. It's not gray plastic, it's not unassembled pieces. And that's something that needs to be done with other game systems. So I was talking about John before the cast. It's difficult to get people like super into 40K. Usually if people come in here, they know they want to play 40K, right? So like it's an easy sell. But like if someone comes in and they've never played 40K and they kind of want to start a miniature game, but they don't know anything about it, the excitement's much more there if they can see like a fully painted list battling against each other, both good guys and bad guys. So it's really important for us. Like I know David's got his stuff mostly painted and I'm working on my stuff. So when we have those lists collide, it'll show that cinematic feel to it and make sure that it gets the person motivated and excited about that game. So I think that's really big, the aesthetics. So if you guys are demoing or championing a system, I know Bobby's working on Age of Sigmar. Rob Ashwell has been doing a great job with War Machine and Hordes. But it can really push the game forward and get more people interested if your demo lists are 100% painted. So always keep that in mind. They may not mention it, they may not even be thinking about it, but it's back in their mind. Like, oh man, those models look so cool. Like I love that paint scheme. I love the fact that like, his fire breath was like bright green, or, the fact that like in Dust, like they have like the mercs have like little graffiti on their walkers and things like that.
Jim did a great
Yeah.
job.
All those little details just make such a big improvement for the play experience for a person.
Because as much as World War II is pretty frightening, Dust makes a good job of keeping it fun.
Well, I also think it humanizes a lot of people. Like, the fact of the matter is, war is terrible. We play war games. Doesn't make us terrible, but like it's one of those things where if you're in a harsh environment where you're under so much pressure, people are going to have fun and let loose and all that.
Yeah.
The mercs are a great example because they're not controlled by any large governing body, so they're going to graffiti up their walkers and like have more personality.
There's no general walking by their walker. We're like, what is this?
Yeah. So it's cool to show that personality, show your personality through the models as well. But like get people excited, and that's one of the ways to get people excited is by showing them what the game will look like for them. Like, you know, when they get it fully painted and all that sort of stuff. So
so like in the grand scheme of things, especially for those watching that aren't in Georgia at all, if you're anywhere else in the world, in the US, whatever, one of the things, because that's the spark, so to speak, right? It's an easy way to get people interested. What has really helped Dust, the league that we currently have, the Slow Grow League, is that in the group for the league and for Atlanta Dust that we have, people are constantly posting their updates on their paint work. They're talking about models that they're buying. They're posting a picture of a game and saying, "Oh, I played this guy and I lost," or "I played today and I won 2-1," or whatever. It's really, really, really helping because it's like it's motivating me, for instance, to paint up one of my models. Like, I have 15 minutes to paint. I'm going to paint up one of my Dust models because I'm seeing that activity there. That's the one thing that 40K has always done really, really well. People in 40K are constantly, they're doing conversions. They're constantly updating on their work. But if you have a league or if you have a group, just encourage each other to constantly post about the games that they're playing, about the models they're painting and buying. It's really, really helpful to keep the fire going.
Yeah, I would like to segue. Like, painting is such a big thing for communities. I've been listening to like podcasts and other things where people are talking about like tournaments and how tournaments are kind of moving away from requiring fully painted lists, and that's fine. Like, not requiring fully painted is a great way to get people up there playing. But you as a player, it's such a huge thing to show up with a fully painted army. It's like a service to your opponent, right? Like showing them this beautiful painted thing. Like, you know, like if your opponent takes the time to do it, you should take the time to do it. It helps build the community, showing what you're doing, what you're working on, giving them the most cinematic experience they can in this game. So when you're thinking about it, it's like, oh, like the tournament's coming up, it's not required fully painted, so I'm just going to go play video games or whatever. Like, think about it from the fact that, like, hey, like, I'm taking the time and someone else is taking the time to come to this tournament. Why not give them the best experience possible and have my army painted? So
really, War Machine Hordes does a great job with that. So you don't have to bring a painted army in a lot of tournaments, but then they have the Iron Gauntlet, which is a required like fully painted list for that.
Absolutely.
So you can do both. So it really gives the people that do have the drive to have their fully painted army want to go against fully painted armies. Like, and it's still a very competitive tournament. Like, you're not gonna just face the I painted what I liked and here's what I got. No, like you're gonna face like the best of the best, usually a smaller point value, right? So you don't have to paint as much to do it, but you will go against nice competitive lists with all the fixins just nicely painted with your nicely painted models, and it gives you a great experience.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
Warzone Atlanta, which we Giga-Bites sponsors every single year, fully painted. They even have a painting competition as part of it. It is amazing. There's like 120 players with a fully, literally every single detail is fully done. It's amazing.
Oh no, that's great, and I mean, I think that's the way it should be. It helps so much build that community, seeing this stuff done, and it gets people excited to do their own painting. Like, I know I get motivated to do painting when I see everyone else doing stuff. David's Mini a Week challenge, I think has done a great job of, one, building a community here at Giga-Bites for painting, and then two, motivating a lot of folks.
Yeah, I've been going ham on it.
Yeah, so it's been like really good to see how much painting can affect a community and bring it up.
Yep.
David, in all caps, forever, says talk about coffee.
Coffee!
So I won't talk about coffee, but I will talk about espresso.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, John.
So Giga-Bites just got our espresso machine back last week. And brand new. It's super nice. I can tell you that the lattes we make are amazing. So if you guys are interested and want to try a latte, come to Friday Night Fights, get yourself a coffee drink. I know Anthony Livesey will probably be living here soon since we got our espresso machine.
Can you ship one to Cincinnati, please?
No.
What? We could maybe freeze it.
No, that's don't. You can't freeze a latte.
I know.
Don't ever freeze a latte. It does not do well with.
God, no.
Yeah.
Freeze it and ship it. It's a solid piece.
Yeah. So, Thomas, I'm with you 100%. Whenever it's cold out, I tend to not paint a lot because my hands get cold. What I can tell you though is the heat is working just fine here at Giga-Bites, and it is a nice temperature to come here and paint. Come here, paint all day. I'll be here as soon as I get done with work. I got some preview models to work on from Privateer Press.
Yeah. Order a hot tea, hold that for a bit, then go back to the brush.
Exactly. Yeah. Use really hot water for your paint cup.
So Nathan says for me to make more German squad videos for Dust. That's coming, but I have a really, hopefully it's really funny set of videos that it's a surprise for now, and once I get the models painted, I can actually film it. But basically, it's about if you took a Chaos cult that didn't know what they were doing, and then you brought in kind of a straight man character who actually knew what he was doing, the show's going to be called Cultivating Chaos.
Yeah, I like it.
So hopefully it'll be funny. I think so. We'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am going insane here in Cincinnati since I don't get to play that often. So
yeah, no. Emily was watching the video last night, the Dust video, and she was just like, "John's going crazy. Someone needs to go help him."
Well, it turns out there's a place that opened last year called Game Time Miniatures. Shout out Game Time Miniatures in Milford, which is on the east side. So it's about 40-minute drive away. But they offer, the full range. They offer Dust. They carry Dust. Gregoire's been over there before, head of Dust USA. So luckily, I'll be able to play like once a week, hopefully going forward, which is nice.
Yeah, well, that'll be good. Absolutely.
I'm still going insane, though.
No, that's fair. That's what happens.
There's still 4 inches of snow out, and it's been like 40 degrees for 2 days.
I mean, we got our 1/8 of an inch that shut us down for a few days.
Yeah, was it 1/8 of an inch? I think it was 2.
I looked at it. I was like, eh.
Yeah. But yeah, so that kind of covers like the community building with Dust and all that. We have several other games that are taking off or growing. War Machine and Hordes, thanks to the Journeyman League that's currently going on. We are about to start to week 3, so it goes all the way to week 6. And then after week 6, the following weekend, we have a Steamroller tournament. So hopefully those build hype for each other. We'll be advertising that tournament more the closer we get to it. That'll be in mid-February. And then from there, other weeks that are other events that are coming up. We have Friday Night Fights tonight. I want to say it's focused on foot slogging, not bringing transports. You can check out the full rules on the Facebook page. Then following Saturday, we're going to be having the Netrunner Store Championships. So this is the
regional.
No, Store Championships.
Store.
Yeah, not regional. Yeah, Store Championships for Netrunner. That's going to be fairly large, big Store Championships. It's the new Netrunner. So come in and check it out if you guys are interested. Either if you play or you're interested in starting Netrunner. It's kind of cool to see competitive play because that usually determines like what game I'm going to put most of my time into is what tournaments look like.
Yeah. It's not something I'm too familiar with, but I did listen to 2 people discuss what the new core set brought to the game, and it said it took out a lot of things that basically people were like, oh, is this still in? It's like, no, they got rid of that. It's like, okay, good. This year, no, that's gone. It's like, okay, good. Just a lot of things that really just bottlenecked decks have been. And
it's also great because it's a blank slate for a lot of people, so it's easier to come in and build decks or come in and start because you don't have to buy this entire backlog of cards and decks and things like that.
Yeah.
So check out this Netrunner. Nathan did say there is a Blood and Plunder Day in February. So if you guys haven't checked, it's a historical game.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's an amphibious miniatures game, which is really cool. So it means it has both naval combat and then like land skirmishes and all that. So
kind of weird shout out. In the train, I found a single model. I think it was a Buccaneer or maybe a Musketeer looking guy. But if you're missing one,
if you're missing a Blood and Plunder model, let us know. We have
one.
Yeah, we have a salty dog hanging out with us. But yeah, check out Blood and Plunder Day. Blood and Plunder is another great game. So I generally don't like historicals too much because I feel too locked into a particular role or like what's going to happen. But Blood and Plunder is like more of a like skirmish game. You're not recreating like giant battles in the Caribbean or anything like that. So
yeah, it's not like they recorded what
exactly.
Like,
so you can make your own war band. You can do your own characters, things like that. So it's pretty exciting to look into, which is awesome. Actually, tonight I forgot about tonight. We have Team Yankee with Richard Shirley.
That's right.
Yeah.
So he'll be demoing off Team Yankee. We should have several people up here. If you guys haven't seen the board, it is phenomenal.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
He did a really good job of building not only the terrain from Battlefront, but he also made like roadways and trees and all that sort of stuff. So it looks like a little township. Reminds me of the place I grew back up when I was like 10. So almost, yeah. So yeah, it was just like one of those things where it's a great field. It's another thing to get people into the game. Like this board, like I'm hoping a lot of people come in, check it out, see this like really, really cinematic experience unfolding. Team Yankee is a weird war, so it's a historical fiction. So like it's basically what if World War III happened between the Allies, I think mostly U.S. I don't know. There's not too much other of the Allies. Like there's
still
Britain, all that. But it's basically Allies, Russia, and then Germany is split into two different sides, East and West.
All right.
Yeah, so it has a lot to do with the Berlin Wall not coming down kind of thing. So, or blowing up. I think it blew up in the Team Yankee background. Anyways, East and West Germany are two different factions, and they have two very different goals in what they want to do. And like David said, we do have a giant restock of Battlefront minis, Team Yankee being the big one coming in. So if you guys want to check out like a semi-historical game with a growing community, Team Yankee is a great one to come and play.
And then we have two tournaments for 40K coming up. One is February 11th.
Yes.
And then the other one is February 17th and 18th, or 18th and 19th?
Correct. It's 17th and 18th. That's the Valentine's Team Massacre, which I'm actually signed up for. I'll be playing in this tournament. I'm pretty sure I'm bringing bugs because I can't bring the Thousand Suns Codex, which is A-OK.
Yeah. No, but yeah, give your bugs a run.
Yeah, get to try them out. So I'll be there playing all weekend. I'll probably be crazy at the end of it because I'll be trying to juggle too many things at once. Learning how to play Tyranids being one of them. But yeah, the Valentine's Day Massacre tournament is being hosted by Forge of the Area podcast. Paul Murphy's the big honcho for this one. And then I think the 11th, is the 11th a series tournament, John?
Yes, it's part of the Atlanta series.
Yeah, so the 11th is in the Atlanta series, so we're going to have a lot going on with it. I want to say, is this the first series for the year?
Yes, Series 1.
Yes. Yeah, so this is Series 1. Start off strong, guys. Come out, play, have a lot of fun. Then come back next weekend for a 2-day tournament experience.
Oh, yeah. It's 5 games. You have teams of 3. It's $15 a person, so 45 in a team. And you play 5 games, like I said, 2,000 points each. You have on each team, you have 2 attackers and 1 defender. The 1 defender gets to pick who they're defending against, defending against. And the attackers kind of go at the other defenders and the teams and whatnot. But it's a cool setup. You can read the details on our events page at Giga-Bites Cafe on Facebook. So look on the events. There's recurring weekly events is the first thing you see. If you keep on scrolling down, you'll see the events that are one-offs. So you can look up there, February 18th, Valentine's Day Team Tournament / Massacre. It's going to be super fun.
Yeah, so those are the big events coming up. That's also in addition to all the leagues and things like that are going on. So, then we also have, we still have Fantasy Flight Regionals. On February 3rd, we have the X-Wing Regional, and our store is going to be packed. So if you guys have anything that you want to go on during the 3rd, make sure you either schedule now or
forever hold your peace.
Correct. Yeah, or you're going to have to move your event and all that. We have over 60 people right now registered for the Expo Regional. So that requires at least 30 tables for them. So be mindful of that. Also this weekend, Rivals of Ixalan does the full release. So we'll be doing all day. So the moment we hit 8, we're going to fire a draft. That'll be going on until close at 1 a.m. So that means we can fire a draft as late as, I think, 9 o'clock. So just be mindful of that. If you guys want to draft, get more dinosaurs and then give me said dinosaurs.
Yeah. I mean, how many of the elder dinosaurs do you still need?
No, I got everything at pre-release.
Wow.
Yeah,
February 10th is an Age of Sigmar tournament. Almost forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the 1,000-point tournament. It's on a Saturday. I'll be playing in that. I think I'm playing Birdmen.
Nice.
Which is
okay.
Yeah, birds.
I might try to get it.
Empire?
Yeah, I started painting Mario's.
Yeah, the free people.
Yeah.
You mean?
I'm still gonna call them Empire.
You know, fine, whatever. So yeah,
Free
those are
People's
all
Empire.
exciting events. Oh my God, it's David.
Yay!
Yay!
We have all these events coming up. I'm excited to be playing, I think, in almost every tournament. Yeah.
Good.
I'm playing
Good,
pretty much in every weekend of February.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Nice shades, David.
Tell me what this thing is.
That's a Malkador Annihilator.
Would you say it's the Pride of Krieg?
It is the Pride of Krieg.
Yeah.
Look how beautiful it is. Also, it's a little bit heavy for you, Dave.
That thing is ridiculous.
I probably shouldn't be carrying it with my back.
Yeah. No, it is... that is an impressive forge-roll piece.
About 7 pounds.
Yeah. I heard David's going to be playing in the series event.
You heard wrong.
Oh. But so this year, guys, this year is just amazing. Like, it's already started off with a bang. We're not even a month into the year, and we've had so much playing going on. It's just, we're going to keep it going, you know, constantly having events. If you are interested in running events for a game, we have the Giga Champion Program. All you've got to do is, you know, follow some simple rules and schedule at least one event per month, and then try to be available online and in person for demos, etc. Get people into the game. You know, we have several we have ones for 40K already. Age of Sigmar's got champions. Dust has Gym. But if there's any game that you want to champion, just let us know. Well, there's a form you can fill out, and it's got some nice perks to it. But it's really an opportunity for us to continue growing these awesome games. And it's interesting because psychologically, you know, as a group of people, we don't necessarily have a direction. The moment you get a leader, that they don't have to do like a whole lot of stuff. Jim doesn't like constantly post every day. He doesn't post like 5 times a day to get people interested. He's just there as a facilitator. And just having that is enough to get people to kind of be involved.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys want to take a spearhead, we have the champions form to fill out. It is a great program. It took us a while to figure out all the benefits and things like that, but it definitely, if there's a game you love, it makes sense to become a champion. So
if the game you love, set it free.
Yeah, no, don't set it free. Yeah, no, but yeah, enjoy it. And with that, with event scheduling, guys, please put in your request for event dates. We are already filled up, I believe, through March at this point. We even have a weekend in July that's completely blocked off. So if you guys know of events, Daniel Hester's, I'm looking at you. No, because like you could schedule every series weekend right now.
Yep.
And make sure that there's no complications throughout the entire year. So like that's the thing. Like if you're trying to run a series of tournaments, like Bobby, let's say the Age of Sigmar tournament goes really well, and you want to run a series event where like everything ends up at the end of the year in December with a giant Age of Sigmar like tournament. That's great. Start scheduling the tournaments now, so we don't have to like fight for space with other people. So
yes. It's easier to go ahead and put in your form and modify it later than to come to us like 2 weeks beforehand and say, oh, we really need this. Well, yeah, but, you know, try to reserve it as far ahead as possible. Just makes everyone's lives so much easier. And speaking of running events, you don't have to be a champion to run an event. You can always run an event without that. Fill in the form for if you go to gigabitescafe.com, it's an event request form. It's just very simple to fill out. You basically just the date that you're wanting and what you're trying to run. We help facilitate events. So if you're looking to get people to play, we put it on our events page on Giga-Bites Cafe. I'll do live streams about it, etc. Just the sooner the better, right? If I know about something 2 weeks beforehand, it's not as easy.
Yeah. This also goes for people who want to like reserve table space for like a small meetup. Like,
yeah.
If you want to do like a Gloomhaven meetup, you know, every Thursday or Monday or Tuesday or Friday, whatever. Not Wednesday because we're full.
Yeah.
But like if you wanted to do that, you can put in those event request forms so we reserve you guys a table. So you can come in and say, hey, I have an event. Point me to my table.
Yeah.
We can do that. And speaking of Gloomhaven, we still have some.
Yeah. 1 copy left, right?
No,
4. We have
Hobby got us some more.
Yeah, we have 4. David in his infinite wisdom, which he forgot. This is David actually
true story.
Yeah,
I forgot.
David went to every single distributor we had, and he put in an order for Gloomhaven, in which he forgot about all of them except from one distributor. So it's a huge benefit to everyone because we ended up having 4 extra copies. We were originally allocated down to 10, which barely covered our pre-orders, and then we got a couple more in, and now we're only down to 4. What are they, David, price-wise?
159.
Yeah.
$149.99.
Yeah, $149.99. We have 4 left.
Yeah.
If you're interested, call us now or message us through Facebook. They will probably not last the weekend.
Nope.
We're not holding unless you're prepaid.
Yes. Yeah, we're not holding unless you prepay. You can prepay over the phone or through PayPal. Either way.
But the nice thing is it might have a hefty price tag, but if you cancel your gym membership, the box is heavy enough to work out with.
Yes, that's true.
20-pound box.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, guys, if
Which
you
means
are
I can't lift it.
Correct.
So enjoy.
Yeah. If you guys are interested in Gloomhaven, get it now while you can. If not, you're going to have to wait till what, May, I think?
Maybe.
Yeah, May.
Consider this was supposed to come out in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe May.
Yes.
But I've been playing it since last year, and it has been a great game.
Yeah.
I play every Friday, except for today. It's a family event. But
yeah.
You get to go through all these different scenarios. They have a way of playing that I've never seen in any other game where your hand size is your stamina. And
correct.
As you go through your hand over and over, you start losing cards until you're down to a few.
Huh.
This is hand size is stamina as you go through.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. Check out Gloomhaven if you can. Like, when did we get it in? Was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
It came in Wednesday. But the hard release was today, so we couldn't give any weight today.
Correct, yeah. So the official release is today, so that means out of today, with all the pre-orders, we have 4 available. So definitely check it out. Yeah, it's cool. And also, if you guys are here at the store, don't start unboxing it unless you're planning on playing it, because the moment you start unboxing it, it turns from 1 box to 2 boxes.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that.
There is a small, not really small, I guess, since the box is huge, but there is a kit you can use that organizes every single piece.
Yeah.
Into that box.
Correct.
It is a lifesaver if you use it a lot and travel with it. Really,
yeah.
Is what I should say.
So yeah, definitely check out Gloomhaven. I like the look of it. I know we have several groups going on. It's like less commitment role playing game. In my mind, like you're going to need like a steady group to do it, but you know, the fact of the matter is like you don't have to devote the same amount of time as a role playing group, right? So So yeah.
And then final thing in terms of pre-orders, Star Wars Legion is coming out end of February, beginning of March. That area, we don't know the exact date yet. Fantasy Flight will tell us closer to the time. We have Fallout Wasteland Warfare, which you can pre-order, prepay. That looks amazing. The models look ridiculously good. If
you're a Fallout fan, it is something to get.
I played it since the first Fallout when I was a kiddo, and it looks perfect. It's based mostly around, right now I think it's Fallout 4 is what it's mostly based around in terms of the aesthetic. So you've got the colonial people. You got, what's his name that keeps on giving you missions?
Oh, Preston.
Yeah, oh my god, it's got Preston in there that you can buy.
Yeah. That game,
I might get him just so I can like burn him or melt him.
But I would turn it in a quest, and I would sprint away so that he couldn't give me another quest.
Yeah, until you get to your car, and then he's in your car giving you a place to, you know.
Yeah.
He'll find you.
Absolutely. Yeah, so check out all these things for pre-order. We do have, also on the pre-order thing, if you're a War Machine player, the second half of the Blindwater release comes out in February. We are taking pre-orders for that. We have the No Quarter Prime 3, which not only has rules for Blindwater and background story for Blindwater, but it also contains new rules for Company of Iron, which is kind of cool. And then starting in March, it's the Crix releases. So those are going to be
sweet.
All of the Black Fleet, which is living pirates of Crix. So no spooky, scary ghosts. These are all going to be either corrupted humans, Ogren, or trolls, or Satixis that all work for the Dragon Father and like to plunder stuff. So
very cool. I like it. Sweet.
So yeah, check all that stuff out. And I think that's it for us.
Yeah, that covers everything today. Look forward for more live streams throughout the next weeks. Every Monday we do a tabletop talk, 4 p.m. Joseph and I talk about board games so that you can learn new board games to play. We have a big old shelf behind y'all. Every Thursday's painting stream with you, John, or you or another guest.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more guests throughout the year. So if anyone's interested, if anyone's a commission painter or likes to paint or wants to learn how to paint, I'm happy to do like classes on the live stream with someone here. I can kind of show you over techniques. Or if you're a commission painter and want to paint something on stream, it's a great way to build your brand. So commission painters, it's a good idea. And then it's also kind of cool. Like you get some recognition, you get to be on the Giga-Bites page. And it also is a great motivator to actually paint. So I'm hoping to see some more painters throughout the year. Sean normally joins me when he can. Mark is the same way. If Mark's available and has something to paint,
he'll yesterday.
Yeah, he'll be on stream. So yeah, guys, check it out. Save me from not having like 16 streams of me just painting Imperial Knights.
I mean, they look cool. They're just it's a lot of them.
Yeah, no, it's a lot, and it's a lot of work to do. So
what is that? 2,500 points.
Something like that. Yeah. Maybe more depending on how he kits it out.
Yep.
But anyways, check out these streams. And if you guys ever want to stream anything like a demo game or a tournament, I know Jamie Naismith uses us a lot for his Armada tournaments.
Yep.
We're able to stream his events. I try to do demo games with Jim and all that sort of stuff. So use us as a resource.
Yeah, we got that stuff there for a good reason. We got a new boom that I put there last month, and that allows us to get a perfect overhead view of the battlefield. Compared to our old angle, which was kind of like a 45-degree angle, it now literally is looking straight down, so it gives you a lot better view. If you want a more high-definition experience, you've got to subscribe to our YouTube channel, because every single one of our live streams is also on YouTube, but it's in 1080p on YouTube. On Facebook, they put it all the way down to like either 320 or 480p, so you oftentimes will lose fidelity, you can't see details as easily, and the details are there, it's just you have to see it on a different source. So go to youtube.com/Giga-Bites TV, all one word, no dashes, and then you can subscribe to our channel there.
We've already found a solution for that. John bought giant dice.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Yeah, so
that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think that covers everything.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We hope to see all of you guys later. Thank you, Thomas, for subbing to our channels.
Yes.
Yeah. So thanks, everybody.
All right. Bye, y'all. Have a great weekend.
All right. Goodbye now.
Paint and play. Bye.
Yeah.